few moments, what I'd like to do is to share with you what I call the good news, bad news. And I'll give you the good news first. The good news is that I'm going to give you what the bad news is, and by knowing what the bad news is, it's going to be good news for you because you're going to know the truth, and the truth is going to make you free. Hello, my name is Dr. Robert Bartosh of Proactive Wellness and Injury Center, and I guess who I'm speaking to are the people that have been recently diagnosed as having a gluten intolerance, or those of you who have been diagnosed with this condition in the past. Well, there was some research that was done, the results of which were just published not too long ago in the Journal of Food Protection. They did some research back in 2010, and they tested so-called gluten-free foods, and at that time in 2010 they found that over 40% of those that were labeled gluten-free actually had gluten in them. Now recently, just in I think it was October of 2014, they tested over 80 products that were labeled gluten-free, and of them they found that over 20% of those that were labeled gluten-free actually had levels of gluten in them that they considered dangerous, that would be harmful, deleterious to one's health. And over 62% of the cereals, that were labeled gluten-free, actually they found them to be contaminated, cross-contaminated with gluten. And that's really some disheartening information, because if you have been diagnosed recently or had been in the past, one of the first things your doctor or your support group might tell you to do is to go to the store and start in the gluten-free aisles and buy the boxed gluten-free foods to replace the others with, and you're well on your way. However, you have to understand this, that most of, if not all of, the gluten-free substitute products that you're purchasing are made from things like corn, rice, or other grains, or pseudo grains like buckwheat or quinoa, and that's a topic for another time indeed, because those foods definitely have some issues, especially when you get into the GMOs. But it's surprising. Some of you might say, well, if that's the case, then why do so many doctors and the celiac research facilities or my support group, why do they continue to tell me to go out and buy these gluten-free products, these gluten-free processed foods? And you know, that's a fair question to ask, and I don't have an answer for it. You've got to understand this though. When it comes to your health, you must realize that it's your health, it's your body, so it therefore becomes your responsibility. You must become diligent. You must study to show yourself approved, if you will, so that you know what's going on. And don't just get onto the internet and start, Googling this and Googling that, because I've got to tell you, Dr. Google has led multitudes of people astray. Those that are on the internet self-diagnosing themselves, self-treating themselves. And also know this, that if you are gluten intolerant, that substance in your system has caused damage. It's caused damage to your body. Now, just by replacing the bad with good doesn't necessarily resolve the problem. What you've got to do first is to repair the damage. By repairing the damage, you're going to be repairing enabling the body then to function properly. Then you can put the good foods in there and be well on your way to a healthy life. I hope that this information has been beneficial to you, and if it has, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Proactive Wellness, because I'm going to endeavor to continue to bring what I believe to be some cutting-edge information, some information that indeed, if you apply it to your life, will help you, and it will go far in assuring the best performance of your life. So, thank you very much, and may I say before closing too, if you have any comments, I'd appreciate hearing them, and certainly if you have any topics that you'd like covered in the future, I'd appreciate hearing that too, because frankly I'm here to serve you. So again, I want to thank you. God bless. Take care.